Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's your Filmmaker here, and today we're talking about the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K, and autofocus has finally come to it. It's a better firmware version, just updated the camera a few hours ago. In fact, I'm filming this episode using the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K and the Pyxis monitor just to see myself. I have my audio connected directly to it, so I'm happy to see this finally come to the Pyxis 6K. It's been on the Cinema 6A, like a lot of you guys know, and I'm happy to see Blackmagic do this because companies like Red already have, or had for a long time, autofocus on their Komodo systems. I think the Raptor, I'm not really sure, but I think the Raptor also have it, even the new Raptor XE. We'll go through a few lenses. I'm recording this using the Sirui Aurora 35 at f1.4. In case you're interested to get the firmware, I'll leave a link in the description, but it's also available on Blackmagic's forum, not the website, not the official website. You get it from the forum. I'll also leave a link in the description so you guys can easily click and get it. Now, the first I noticed just after I installed the firmware was that the aperture readings on my Pyxis 6K were more accurate. Now, I have the Sirui Aurora 35 f1.4 L mount on the Pyxis 6K. Before the firmware update, at the widest aperture of f1.4, it will read on the camera as f1.35. The Sirui is saying f1.40, and I'm happy that that has been fixed. I'm redoing this test because after doing the test the first time, I couldn't record screen. I tried connecting my Blackmagic Video Assist via SDI. It could record screen, but I couldn't get the focus box you're seeing. I tried connecting it to my phone using the Blackmagic camera app. It picked up the screen. I could remote trigger the Pyxis 6K, but also I could not see the focus box, which is the blue one you're seeing from this camera, the S5 2X. So let's quickly do the test. I'll move forward towards the lens, and I'll move back. I'll go sideways, and then I'll hide behind this camera here. What do you guys think? Has it lost focus? I can see it's lost focus. It says focus lost. And I'll come back into the frame. Did it pick me up? Nope. So I'll come back here. I will have to tap. That's another thing. This autofocus only works when you have the Pyxis monitor. So you can't use it on the Pyxis side monitor. You have to use it on the Pyxis monitor. Okay, so now this is the TTArtisans 40mm f2. I just wanted to put it out there that I noticed a few changes to the audio menu. You can isolate the different audio inputs, whether you're using the USB-C at the back, whether you're using the XLR port at the front, the mini XLR port, or whether you're using the 3.5mm port or the microphones on the camera. I can activate all these individual ports and then use them. So this is the TTArtisans 40mm f2. Let's do the autofocus test. Moving backwards as far as I can. Maybe come around here and walk back to the camera, lean in. You can see the focus box trying to keep me in focus. And I'll go left behind the camera. I think it focuses on the S5 2X, and it's now gone back to me. All right, so now this is the Canon 50mm f1.4 EF lens. So I'm using the Sigma MC21 adapter, an EF to L mount adapter, and it's focusing on me. If I move forward, you can see the focus box on my face is not as fast as the L mount lenses, but it's good to see that this is working very, very well. That's okay. And you can even, if you can look up at the iris section, it says f1.54. So that's another thing to note with this lens and what it's doing with the Sigma MC21 adapter. So moving forward, moving in and coming out again and going as far as I can and walking back to the lens. So that's how it's handling and keeping me in focus. So this is the 7Artisans 24mm f1.8, and you can see my face is out of focus, even though the focus box is on the lens. When you attach the lens initially, it doesn't show the correct iris. It shows f1.85, and then the iris goes off. I've tried turning off the camera, turning it back on. So this lens doesn't work with autofocus, but you can see the focus box around me. And if I tap on the Pyxis monitor, still doesn't make any changes. So this also happens, or has happened to this lens, the AstrHori 85mm f1.8. I think the focus point is around here. I don't know if I'm in focus, but that's it for the 7Artisans lenses, 24mm, and the AstrHori 85 1.8. I think because they are both from the same manufacturing company. So let me switch to another lens. All right, next lens is a Sigma 16-28 f2.8. So now I have to tap on the screen and it's activated, and now the autofocus is tracking my face. So this is at f2.8, and if I go back, come this way, hide behind the S5 I think it's still on me. It's all right, come back in. So that's at 28mm, and I open wide so you can see how scattered the studio is. Yeah, you can see this softbox or diffuser, and it's thinking there are 3 different objects, but I've set it to face tracking. Let me drop my hand, come this way. It thinks that's a face. All right, this next test is the Sigma 28-105 f2.8 L mount at 28mm, and back, left and right, forward, and back. So this is at 28mm. I'll try to zoom into around, like, say, I don't know. I don't want to zoom in all the way to 105. And this is with low light. This is an f2.8 lens, but I'll bump up the exposure in post. And I'm glad to see that it's still doing well enough to keep me in focus, or to track me backwards, forward, backwards, forward. So I'll zoom out. I'm unable to manually focus with the lens. So maybe there should be an option where I can override the camera's autofocus and pull manually. So I'm backing the camera. Is this still keeping me in focus? And I'm facing the camera again. All right, one thing I want to let you guys know is that you cannot activate this without the Pyxis monitor. So far, the menu on the Blackmagic Pyxis camera itself, that's the side screen, doesn't have this function that I'm going to show you, where you can tap up there and it gives you the autofocus thing. So you can't do this without the Pyxis monitor. I'm currently in face tracking, there's object tracking. So I can tap on the camera and it should identify that, and I can increase the size of what I'm tracking. I can go back up there and set it to autofocus continuous. Maybe tap on my face, yeah, and it's focusing on my face. It's not moving. Maybe I have to set it to a different kind of, but that's it for that. And then there's AFS. So if I select update tracking and click on me, and maybe enlarge it so that's my face, and I move away, so it's tracking me as an object. But I can click there and change it to face, and identifies the face. And if I tap there, I need to tap to, yeah, so it's now tracking me. See, and I also noticed that when you have like more than 1 people in the frame, it identifies those people, and then you can select which one you want to track and to try to keep it in track. So that's it for the lens test. I'm recording this handheld. So I have the Pyxis monitor on the slider at the highest speed, going back and forth or left and right, and I'm tracking the light meter. You can see the focus box. I'll select the red toy there, and it's now tracking the red toy as it moves. And I'll go to the green toy, and it's tracking the green toy, and I can expand the focus box easily. And I'll go to the yellow toy. I'll just tap on the yellow toy, and after tapping, you can expand the focus area. The next thing I'll do is I'll tap the red car or train, so you can see it's tracking the red toy. Very nice. And I'll click to focus on the small VMAN battery box behind me, and I'll select the road. So this is the Pyxis side monitor, and if I tap up there, you don't get the AF thing that you have on the Pyxis monitor. So that's the difference. Hopefully Blackmagic can release an update, or maybe they want to sell their Pyxis monitor, so they would want you to get this to be able to use the autofocus function. This begs the question also, is this going to make DJI LiDar obsolete? Maybe yes, maybe no. I have the DJI LiDar, I'm using it with my cine lenses, and it's been good so far. It takes a bit of time to rig up and then get the LiDAR working. It was just so time consuming, but with this is good to know, because Sigma with the 28-105 f2.8 lens is the same thing, same glass in that 28-105 T3 cine lens. So it's the same glass in this lens as in that lens. The only thing is that you have the focus gear teeth and all that metal build. This is plastic build. And one thing I also noticed is that it doesn't have that extension of the lens when you zoom to 105. I'll keep using my lenses. I like autofocus. Autofocus is cheaper because you don't have to have a focus puller. You don't have to worry too much when shooting and having to keep things in focus. You can tap. Something I like to see in future releases is the ability to activate and deactivate focus boxes. So you can set the camera to focus on a particular section of the frame and either pick out people's faces or objects. And I'm happy to see that the camera can sense, or this firmware allows you to sense multiple faces in the frame. It's very, very intelligent so far. I can pick a face and focus. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss future uploads on this topic. It's a Filmmaker. I'll see you in the next one. God bless and peace.